everybody. This is episode 5 of Happy Fun Music Time. This is a quarantine podcast about music. I'm here with co-host Alex Salas and our two guests tonight, Dan Scime and Collin Sheehan. That's how you pronounce your last name, right?
Sheehan.
Oh, Sheehan. All right. I'll edit that out in post.
He's Sheehan.
Can you just
Sheehan.
insert me saying it over top of your voice?
Yeah, I'll precisely do that.
Okay, cool.
So what's up, guys? How's staying inside been? How's the band been going?
Oh, I haven't even seen Dan in like 2 months, which kind of sucks. I haven't seen anybody in forever, so it kind of sucks right now. But
it's rough, eh?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I miss Collin. I miss the boys.
But Collin especially.
Yeah,
just me, specifically.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, my love for Collin.
Are you guys like writing songs at all during quarantine? Are you tossing files back and forth? Are you making anything work like that, or is it just a total kind of hiatus?
I've sent a couple things out. Actually, recently. Yesterday, Dan and I were just working on a new song.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Besides that, I don't know if the other guys are.
Yeah,
right, because...
just like... Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. I was just going to say, because I know you guys are putting out a single soon, right?
Yeah. We got halted on like recording and everything. But that's like the only song that we got done so far.
Okay, because that was my next question was, did you record this pre-quarantine, or was this during the event you kind of were passing files or something like that?
Yeah, recorded before.
Cool, yeah.
No, you answer. You answer, Dan.
We need some sort of like virtual talking stick.
Virtual conch shell.
If you're in like a Zoom meeting, you can like do the thing where you raise your hand or something during like a webinar. We should implement that.
Yeah.
But with a stick instead of a hand.
Yeah, it's have a nice like classroom vibe to our podcast. That'd be nice.
Yeah, that would go well with the upcoming trivia portion.
Oh.
No. Oh, do we just have beepers or clickers?
Yeah. Well, I think for now maybe we'll just do a better job of indicating who the question is directed to.
Just yell your name.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
It's like when I'm gonna answer, I'll be like, Dan. Okay, so yeah.
I actually prefer like a podcast format where you guys both railroad each other. That intrigues me more.
Well, I mean, okay. Let me direct this one to Collin then. Let me direct this question to Collin. So, Collin Sheehan. Yeah, and by the way, every time I say your name, I'm going to say your full name, and then we're just going to dub over my voice with you saying your name. Like, that'll be a theme throughout.
I thought we could dub it over with me saying, like, Sheehan over it. Like.
Yeah,
Sheehan.
Make it wrong the entire time.
Yeah.
But yes, so Collin, so where did you record this song? Just how did you guys write it? Like, give us, I should say, the lowdown on the track. Like, what's up with it?
So one day I just went over to Brad, who's their drummer, and it was just him and I jamming out the one day because nobody else could make it, and then we just sat down for like 4 hours straight, just working on Buried at the Crossroads. And just like pumped it out, and it was a struggle. We were fighting it, but then afterwards, like we showed the guys, and they're into it. Austin wrote whatever he likes to write about, so I don't even know how his writing process goes. He just writes whatever's on his mind or whatever. And then we went to our friend Mike, who's in Rival Town, and he's also in Rival Crown Productions. So he's doing like a bunch of recordings for us.
Yeah.
So we went to his place, and then we kind of got stuck in the middle of this pandemic, and now we only have one song. So
how many songs were you guys planning to write, like, or record? I guess.
We had 7. Is that right, Dan? Do we have 7?
Yeah, about 7 and one like almost like interlude, if you want to count that as 8.
Oh, yeah, okay. True. Yeah, we were kind of working on like a B-sides at the same time, so.
True. So it's like a short album almost.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, but like not as complete as an album should be.
Oh.
If that like it's like a like if you were
I don't even
like
know what that means.
like if I just wouldn't call it like an album because like
Like a mixtape more.
Yeah, like just it's the songs we had.
Oh, fair enough.
Same thing, you know.
Is the plan, or I guess was the plan, to release each song separately? Like, is that what you mean by it wasn't an album? Going to put out kind of singles?
No, just more like call it an EP and then save the rest to release like whenever.
Oh, okay.
Same thing. I think is what we were going for.
Oh, so you're only gonna release like some of the songs and then keep the rest in the chamber.
Yeah, and then like slowly maybe put them out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, maybe I already spoiled the B-sides then. Oops.
Yeah,
cut
like,
that out. I'm sorry.
Yeah, like
so much editing.
Like Austin, when he did you guys' podcast, he like didn't mention anything, so like he really wanted to keep it a secret, and then we're just like, no, here it is.
All the beans are being spilled.
Yeah, Austin was very tight-lipped. That podcast, he was very boring. So I prefer like more details being leaked.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
He was like, he was shirtless the entire time we recorded, but no one will ever tell you that. He'll deny it.
No.
That's good. This is the kind of gossip we want to hear. And that, he said some really awful things about you, Dan. I didn't appreciate that.
Aw.
All true, though. All of them were true.
But, like, it comes from the heart, so it's the most respectful thing he could, like, possibly say.
He's bearing his soul.
So
I
can
listened to that podcast. It was fun, by the way.
Oh, well, thank you. Hopefully this one lives up to it. I mean, it's entirely on your guys' shoulders because I mean we were both in the last one and you liked it, so it's up to you guys to keep making one good.
So if it's shit, it's on us.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry ahead of time.
Okay, I want to ask a question, and I'm going to direct this question to Dan. And this question, I want to ask about how you joined the band, Dan, because Austin was telling us on our last episode, which you apparently that you like showed up to a practice or something and just like
uninvited.
Yeah, uninvited. So what's the story with that? Like, how did you end up as part of Hall of Core?
Originally, like Collin and Austin, this was the before project. We just like jammed one time and we're like, oh, this was fun. Like, what would you call this if like we did it again? And they're like, oh, skeleton prom night. And we're like, oh, okay, cool, quirky, love it. And then we like didn't jam for a while, and they were trying to get a project going, and they're like, oh, do you want to play bass? And I was like at the time I was with Plan Dilemma, like doing a bunch, so I was like, no, I probably like couldn't commit, that wouldn't be like fair. And then one day, it was after like Rob had broken his wrist, so like we weren't really practicing or like doing shows, so I was like, yo, I really want to play the bass, like, Collin, can I play bass in the band? He's like, oh, Andrew's like playing bass. I'm like, oh, well, I mean, you know, if you ever need me. He's like, actually, we're thinking of like doing 2 guitars and a bass, but that's not for sure. So like, don't get your hopes up, you know. I was like, okay, well, just
flat out.
I'm like, okay, just think of me, like, you know, if you need me, you know, I'll be there, you know.
I'm around.
It kind of sounds like you were leading him on, Collin. Hey.
Yeah.
I had to give him some form of hope.
Yeah, fair enough.
And then, yeah, one day they're like, okay, yeah, like we think we're gonna do 2 guitars if you want to like come jam with us one night. And I was like, okay, so we jammed, and you know, it was a fun time. I had a fun time. And then after the jam, like everyone was like ready to like leave, and I like had no idea what was going on. So like, do I come next time? Like, what's going on? You know, like.
Dan kind of pushed himself into the band.
I was like, yeah, you know, like.
That's
I'm not gonna leave unless you tell me to.
You know what? That's respect. You kind of like you forced the like what are we argument like in a relationship. You know, I can respect that.
I was like, I'm not.
What are we at
games.
now?
So did the band already have a bunch of songs done, and you kind of came in and had to put bass behind them, or was it more just it was all kind of jamming, and you ended up more as a unit after you officially joined, kind of writing the catalog?
When I was getting ready for the first jam, Collin had sent me Sands of Time, Camp Crystal, Pure Life, and White House Ragnarok, so, like the 4 singles that are out now.
Mm-hmm.
But like 2 of them were like just phone recordings of like jams, and they were unfinished. So, but they were still kind of there, just not completely finished.
Mm.
So I had those ready. Like I learned those, and then the rest, like we just went through those songs, and maybe we jammed, maybe did like a cover of "Sober" by Tool that Austin wrote at the jam. Yeah, pretty much just those 5 songs cycled and maybe jamming, if we did.
Okay, cool.
Fair enough, yeah.
Yeah, I think we did some jamming.
What's the I guess I'll address this to Dan and then to Collin. What's like the hardest part in one of your songs to play? Like which one has like the hardest riff?
White House Ragnarok, Collin does this like ridiculously fast like part, but it's just for like the rhythm section, so I kind of wanted to do it on bass, but I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna be able to play this. It's gonna like sound awful with you, so I'll just like hold the root note and like you do this.
Fair enough.
And then Pure Life, the breakdown, like I'd either be doing nothing or doing what him and Andrew are doing, so I have to do like the fast breakdown part, but I don't do like so much of like the palm muted parts, because I'm like, that's just gonna, like me not playing it precisely is just gonna mess with you guys' precision, so I'll like be silent for some parts and then do like
so you're just hitting them.
You do a great job.
Yeah, just like slightly like in there.
Fair enough.
You do a good job, Dan. I'm proud of you.
No, it's terrible.
Well, what I don't know. Then what's the hardest riff for you then, Collin?
It's probably the same thing. It's
that part.
It's not like it's not that part, but it's like the sweeping in the solo. So it's not the riff, but it's the sweeping in the solo that fucks me up every single time.
Oh, fair enough.
This man plays it perfectly, and I don't know what he's talking about.
It's okay. It's okay.
Actually, the song Collin just wrote that we were like FaceTiming last night about, he wrote the song. The entire thing is just like, the whole thing is like a giant solo basically. So I'm like trying to learn this.
Yeah, well, that's how all songs should be.
I'm like, I cannot for the life of me. I was sitting with it for like maybe an hour or 2, like slowing it down, trying to figure out what Collin's playing. I'm like, you gotta call me, because like I can't figure this out alone. Like it's ridiculous. He's like, oh, it's just this like, quick little like triplet arpeggio that's ascending. I'm like, oh, perfect. Like, oh.
Perfect triplet arpeggio.
Or no, he's legato was the word.
Legato, a little legato run.
Legato.
Legato. Who are some of your guitar inspirations, Collin? Like your favorite guitar players, that kind of thing.
Oh, David Gilmour. That's like my number one.
Okay.
From Pink Floyd. I know I'm an old man when it comes to music, as Austin said.
It's okay. I'm expecting Chuck Berry next, but continue.
Oh, no. Luke Hoskin from Protest the Hero.
Okay.
He's like a huge one for me.
That's pretty much like Pink Floyd.
Yeah, it's the same band, really.
They both start with P.
JB Brubaker. I don't know if that's how you say his name. From August Burns Red.
Yeah.
He's a good guitar player. Paul Wagner from Between the Bear and Me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's good. Yeah, those are just a couple of them.
That's cool. So so like some prog, some kind of classic rock. So it's a little nice variety of taste there. What about you, Dan?
Yeah.
Do you have any specific bass players that are your favorites?
I feel like unprepared for this question.
I don't think Dan even knows any bass player names.
Yeah, man, like,
if you haven't prepared for this question, man, you gotta wait till later.
Oh man, I'm so scared.
I thought I was throwing you a softball. Sorry.
There's definitely bassists out there that I would think of like after this interview, but right now have no
Now,
idea.
you need it now.
If you don't, yeah, come on. Okay, well, actually, let me change
What
it.
about
Then.
a
What about
band?
just? Well, what about favorite bands? Like, what about just some bands that you're
Oh,
into?
Justin Chancellor. There we go. From Tool.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Man's like crazy on the bass. Like he's just playing ridiculous time signatures over like the 4/4s that the band are playing at times, or the band will do like a 7/8 and he'll be in like 6/8, and it's like, what is going on? This man's like always high or something.
Yeah,
And
there's some wild
so,
arrangements.
yeah, and so, would you say that the bass playing makes Tool for you, or is it Tool as a band, as an entity, is that more what you're drawn to in that band? Is it the bass or is it the overall sound?
Bit of both. Like if there wasn't the bass in that band, it would definitely like change things. But like altogether, the culmination of what it is, it's just like so beautiful. Like
Yeah.
everything's like they've like decided on like all the little details. So like I love that.
Well, Tool is like they're one of the few sort of like rock metal like prog bands that are sort of more like bass driven than like a guitar driven band. So that's pretty interesting about them. Yeah, so I find like a lot of bass players will sort of like gravitate towards them just because they have like a lot of incredible bass work in their songs, right? The guitars are almost more like textural in Tool, which is interesting.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Like the atmosphere that they create, it's kind of something I like to go for. Like something you can just put you in a zone rather than just like I mean like riff rock like songs that have just like catchy riffs and stuff. Like I love that too, but Tool, like I'm definitely like at the moment aspiring to write stuff like that.
And I mean, also, I know that you're a Buckethead fan.
Yeah.
And Krusty and I are both
Yeah.
like very into Buckethead. Have been for like years. And Collin, are you a Buckethead guy? Do you know? He's a guitar player, right? Are you into him at all?
He wears the bucket on his head, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've heard of him.
Okay, because I was gonna ask some deep cut Buckethead questions, but
You can sign me out of this one because I have no idea.
okay, let me just ask one. Okay, let me ask one to Dan, and that is Dan. What is your favorite Buckethead? Favorite Buckethead? Just go with that one.
Jordan.
Something off, I'd say something off of a Pike 72. You know, I love hitting. No, I really like Welcome to Buckethead Land. Jordan's obviously classic. Soothsayer's classic too. Actually, I think maybe my favorite, really off, Last Train to Buckethead Land. Like that just puts me in a zone for
What
some
is this?
reason.
Yeah.
Are these even
great
real?
riff.
Are you just?
It's like it almost sounds like a song from like Donkey Kong Country 2 when you're in like the marshy areas. Like it's like that's what it reminds me of. So I don't know. I just I love it.
You guys
Yeah,
should,
that's yeah.
You guys should cover the DK rap as Hollowcore.
Oh man, that's an idea.
I'm down, 100%.
Oh my god. Fun fact for the listeners: Pike 72 is called Closed Attractions. If anyone cares, but okay. To continue. Okay, so no Buckethead. I wanted to know this song that you recorded. I mean, how was recording at Rival Crown Productions at the band's Rival Town, right?
Yeah, it's Rival
Yeah.
Crown.
Okay, Rival Crown. So how did that go? Was the guy you recorded with, for whose name I already forgotten because I'm bad, Mike, was he very involved with the production end of it, like the writing of the song? Did he just kind of throw you guys in a room and mix it? I mean, how did that go? What was his role in the recording?
He didn't really like be like, yo, play this instead, but he would be like, oh, maybe try this, or I know you play this live, but maybe just hold this, but when you do it live, like who cares? But he added like some other instruments like strings and stuff into some of our songs, and
Oh,
even
okay.
like
So he did a bit of
a
producing.
choir. Yeah, he did a little bit of producing, but he wasn't like, yo, this is garbage and I'm gonna change everything. Like he was digging like what we were writing and what we showed him. So Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what I
He's
think.
into
Like a good, well, I guess like not mixer, recording engineer. Like they make suggestions that like you can kind of
Yeah.
decide to roll with, or like you stick to your guns either way. But it's not like they're changing your music or anything, right?
Yeah, that's what he was doing. He was just like, "Yo, I have an idea, and like we can try it, but if you guys don't like it, then like let me know, cause I just want to give it a shot."
Yeah, fair enough.
Mm. Yeah. Well, no, that's interesting. And so you said you had seven or eight tracks you were going to record with him?
Yeah, 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 seven or eight. I don't even remember. It's been so long now.
Do you have a date at this point when are you going to finish, or is it just kind of all on hold? You're waiting to see what's going to happen?
Well, even Mike right now, he's like getting ready to move to an undisclosed location, so that's kind of like on hold as well. But until like we're allowed to go back over and he's set up, like we're kind of we're just on a big hold right now, like hiatus wise, for even
Man.
releasing new music, which sucks.
I mean, yeah, like I mean, so real talk, how frustrating is that? Like that must be like pretty gut-wrenching to be in the middle of recording and then you have to just stop.
Oh yeah, it's so disappointing. I think I only have like one track left to record for my guitar parts,
Mm-hmm.
and then so it's just like I just wish I got that one song done. So it's so frustrating.
Okay, do you at least have like the in progress stuff? Can you kind of listen to what you've done so far?
Yeah, he would send us like clicks to what we recorded for like Brad to practice to, because we recorded the guitars first actually,
Mm.
Oh,
and then
interesting.
we added the bass afterwards, like along with the guitars, and then we were gonna do drums, and then vocals were last.
That is okay. That is interesting. And
Yeah.
so, what was the reason for that? Why did you not do the drums first? Because that's typically what you would do, right?
I don't even know. I think it's because sometimes Brad uses like audio cues for when the next part is coming up. And
Okay.
it helps him so much better with that.
Oh,
So-
so that he doesn't have to like play the song in silence, sort of, without.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
And so Dan, hold on here. So you had to record your bass over top guitar with no drums. So how wouldn't that be tough? You're playing to a click, obviously, but without the drums, I mean, was that tough to kind of get in the groove?
Like I don't think it was too bad unless like all the songs turn out like for the bass to sound like awful. But no, knowing what I was playing, like I was pretty comfortable with it, like especially going off the guitars, because like even when Brad plays, like I'm usually just kind of like listening to the guitar riff. Like I don't really match my bass notes to like the kick drum or anything. Like usually, like I'll just go with the general rhythm of the song.
Okay.
So it didn't really seem to affect me. Like I knew what I was going to be playing for the most part.
Cool. Well, that's interesting. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, very unorthodox. Though.
Yeah, I've never heard that order done before.
But hey, I mean, hey, whatever gets results, right? I mean, this is all just in service to the end product, and if you're happy with how it turns out, then hey,
Yeah.
you've discovered something new.
Exactly.
Well, if you hear the song come out and it sucks, it's because we recorded bass with the guitars and not the drums.
Yeah.
I doubt it's gonna suck. I mean, I've heard this guys did. Was it in your basement, Collin? All these demos you guys recorded?
Yeah, just in my bedroom, honestly.
Right. And I
So-
mean, and those don't suck. So I can't imagine that these are gonna suck. I mean,
Yeah,
when
we've
you
seen
did
you
those,
live too.
yeah, we've seen you live as well. When you did those
so
demos, was it a similar process? Did you guys record guitar, bass, drums with the demos, or was it different than that?
Yeah, I pretty much just recorded the guitars first, like, because I live here, right? So whenever I was just bored, like, I would just plug it in and just play the
Play it
songs,
out.
and then I would just get the other guys to come over and do
Huh.
their parts.
Oh, so you
Did
guys
you-
would
did-
rehearse
yeah.
and jam at your place then?
Sorry?
You guys would like rehearse and jam and like write and all that at your place then?
Yeah, a couple times. It's usually my place or Brad's place.
Yeah, where the drums are.
they're used to the drums over there. Well, yeah, I have a drum kit at my place as well.
Oh, cool.
So he just uses mine.
Yeah.
And when you did the demos, was it real drums or was it a drum machine that you had on there?
They're not real drums actually. So what we did was I was just listening to what Brad would play over like a phone recording, and then I would just input it into the computer.
Oh, right.
Pretty much just kind of make them sound as real as possible. But
well,
yeah.
I mean, for demos, that's what tons of bands have done that for years, right? So there's no shame in that.
Drums are one of the hardest things to actually record, like without a real studio.
Yeah, I think Dan was showing me. Dan, what was that band that you showed me that didn't even have a real drum in their whole album, and it like one song just flows right into the other, and it's just like one whole song. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Insane Anger.
Is that the Meshuggah album?
Yeah, that's the Meshuggah album, I think.
Catch 33, yes, where they used the drum machine on that one. Yeah.
Yeah, and like all the first 3 songs are all like the same song, but they're each like a minute long, and like you never know that the song changed.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, and for a band like Meshuggah, I mean, they can almost get away with just having a drum machine anyway because it's such a mechanical feel they're going for. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Whereas, if you want something more organic, But yeah, I think that's for the purposes of a demo. I mean, of course, drum machines are convenient in like a million different ways. So, I am curious to hear these songs. I mean, what you heard that you had done. I mean, you were overall happy with what you had, obviously, so far. What had you guys figured out like guitar tones and stuff? How did you guys? Was it a long process you took, kind of figuring out? I want the bass to sound like this. I want the guitar to sound like this. I mean, I'll direct it to Dan first. I mean, for your sound on the recording, how did you do that? Was it a very quick process, or was it more involved?
First, Mike asked me, he's like, "What do you want your bass to sound like?" And then I just started talking like an idiot. I was like, "Oh, like I want it to be, kind of like spacey and atmospheric." And then Austin's like, "Yo, what the hell are you saying? Like, just like tell him what you want." And then so Mike just like he recorded me that day without really finding a tone, and then the next time he's like, "Yo, okay, so I got this tone for you. Like one part of it's like I have 3 channels, one for like a nice like muddy, dirty, higher mid-range tone, and then like the high end of it, and then like a low end clean, so it's kind of like a culmination of that." And he like showed me, and I was like, "Yo, that's like awesome. That's exactly what I would like want."
Oh, cool,
so
okay.
Worked out.
Yeah, the bass is recorded onto 3 tracks actually, like
with
the
those
lowest
3 tones.
And yeah, exactly. So you get that lowest, and then the mids, and then all highs on one track, and then so it's just like you're getting like that full range of that whole tone.
Oh, so they're all sort of layered on top of each other, so they're all playing at once.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, cool. I never
But
thought
like
about that.
like it was recorded like it was only one recording though, but like split into 3 tracks.
Yeah.
Right,
You had your feed
yeah.
put into 3 different channels.
Yeah, like I didn't re-record it 3 times though.
No. You didn't pull a strapping young lad and do 5 guitar tracks on one album. Yeah, that's cool. And then Collin, with your tone. I mean, obviously guitar has a variety of tones, but like your distorted guitar tone, was it similar? Did you have kind of 3 different mid, high, lows going, or was it again? How did you kind of come up with that tone?
No, it's just kind of the same kind of tone throughout the whole album. So there's no like any major change up or any like 3 tracks going on at one time. It's just he showed me a bunch of tones that he thought was cool and that I dug, and he was just like, I was just like, yeah, I want that one, and then we just ran with it. So yeah.
Oh, fair enough.
Cool.
Does he have like a rack mount or something, and then just showed you sort of what tones he was working with?
Yeah, he has like a whole like selection of tones that he has and that he's been working on, and yeah, sometimes he'll just mess around.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So so you guys you almost finished recording. The plan was to put all this music out. Were you guys gonna do a music video? Was there like a tour in the works once you dropped it? Like what was the plan after that?
Dan, you want to take that one?
Yeah, I can. We probably definitely would have made like some sort of nice but cheesy music video for at least one of the songs, and then yeah, like we were even starting to like book some shows for almost like a summer run. Like we had some booked with Rolodex Darko too. We had some, and then those got postponed. Probably would have tried to book more, but yeah, like can't do anything now. So, but I assumed we would have played a bunch through the summer.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah. Are you guys worried at all about the venue surviving kind of thing? I mean, we've seen This Ain't Hollywood just shut down, right?
Yeah, This Ain't Hollywood though. They were like, I think they were looking to sell anyway for like a while, so it wasn't so much of like the business is bad. They were just kind of, or from what I heard, like I'm not sure it was like a full like, oh, we've gone bankrupt, we have to shut down.
It's good timing for them to bow out, kind of.
Yeah, but I don't see it as like too much of a problem, especially for us, because like there's always Doors Pub, and like Tyler's amazing, so it's like I think we'll always
Doors Pub is so good.
We'll always be able to like book a show there, even if they do get like a lot of high demand. It'll just mean like, okay, we have to wait maybe a month or two to play our next show, but then that'll build demand for us, so it won't be like it definitely won't be a bad thing, I don't think.
Yeah, I'm planning on getting a taco from Doors Pub at some point, as soon as the as soon as more.
I don't even know if they're
Are they still doing that? Where they're doing a takeout? Yeah, because you can get like alcohol and stuff from them, right?
Yeah. You gotta. It's a pickup, so you drive over there and grab it. So yeah, I will. I'll be giving some of my Serb money to Doors Pub as soon as I can.
It'd be cool
Support.
if I don't know, they threw like a benefit show for Doors if like it gets really bad, or like some venue, and then like the money, like they get a cut of it or something.
That'd be cool. I'd be into that.
Yeah, I'd be always down to support. Like they've done so much for us.
Especially
send it
Doors.
back.
Like you can play any show there, and like you don't really have to deal with like difficult promoters or anything like that.
Yeah, for
Very
sure.
nice.
Yeah, man. Let me ask, because I'm always fascinated by when I listen to other band interviews and bands that I like, and even bands that I don't, but you guys are a band that I like. Like
You don't have to lie to us.
I'm just saying that, obviously. No, I mean, I've seen you guys live. I like you guys. Like opinions on other bands, right? And so, I mean, you've mentioned Between the Buried and Me. Paul Wagoner is an influence for you. Dan, are you familiar with BT Bam? I'm assuming yes.
Like I've heard of them, but I've never really listened to them.
Oh, okay. What's a band that both of you guys are kind of more like, intimately familiar with?
Tool.
Oh yeah. Tool.
So, oh, okay, Tool. So what's your favorite
Bringing it back to
Tool?
that.
Yeah. What's your favorite Tool song? What's your least favorite Tool song? Like, what are some of the favorite albums? Like Crossy and I deep dive into discographies.
Yeah.
Like we did Mastodon. We're gonna do Dillinger. So like we just like dissect songs, and so that's kind of something we do on this podcast. So I'm interested in like the people who we interview, what they think about the bands they like. So Tool is a good one. So like Dan, like what's your favorite Tool song, least favorite Tool song? Just kind of those two questions.
I want a full ranking of every Tool song. Best
Yeah.
Tool.
If you can,
Yeah.
if you can rank every Tool song.
He'll give you a full run through.
Oh yeah. Disclaimer: I listened to the podcast you guys did about Mastodon, and like I know Mastodon a lot, and like I have all their albums, so I was like, oh, beautiful! Like I know exactly what they're saying about everything, and I was like totally into that. Just saying, love it.
Oh, thank you.
Just a quick disclaimer.
Thank you.
Well, we can talk about Mastodon.
Oh, hey, yeah. If you guys are into Mastodon, let's do that one next.
Yeah, I mean, Show Yourself is the best song they ever made, but that's besides the point.
I gotta end this podcast now.
Hey, you and Crossy can go to blows on that one.
Yeah, Tool though, Tool's cool. I don't know if I have any like I don't know if I have any favorites or like least favorites. Like I just like to listen to all of it. Like
There's This man falls asleep to it. That's how he ends his days.
Fair enough.
Man, I'll put on 10,000 Days like to go to bed, and I'll pretty much like get through Zombie and Vicarious, and at that point it's like, okay, I've listened to maybe like 15 minutes of the album. I'm getting sleepy, and then like 10,000 Days come on, and I start doing like it's in like 10/4 or something. They have this like little maraca to start it going like ear to ear, and then that like slowly hypnotizes me, and then behind the music there's just like a going in like circles around your head, and that just like puts me out every time. Like I rarely make it past 10,000 Days.
Is 10,000 Days your favorite
boring.
album?
I don't. That's the thing. I don't know if I have a favorite album because like they're all just like so nice. 10,000 Days. 10,000 Days, Lateralis, and Fear Inoculum, I would say, are like the top of my list. And then like Anima would be 4, and then Opiate and Undertow probably like the lesser favorite, but like still love them. But they're not as like atmospheric and spacey are my go-to words.
Well, fair enough. I mean, Collin, what do you think? Do you have any favorite Tool tracks, least favorite Tool tracks? What do you think of Tool more broadly?
Favorite, probably Pneuma off their new album.
That's a good one, yeah.
Oh, it's such a good one. And then least favorite? Oh, I don't even know. It's probably like Third Eye. I skip that one all the time when it comes on. I'm just not into it.
I'm not huge on like their very first album. That's like one I heard recently. But
what? Like their Undertow album?
Yeah, like the very first one. I like 10,000 Days. I haven't even heard Fear Inoculum in full yet, but like the songs I've heard off that are cool. But I couldn't get into the debut.
Oh, I liked it. I'm a fan of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. So let's start a fight right now. You guys can rip into me. I've never been into Tool. I have never been that into Tool. It's I
can see just got into them like this year, so
it's okay. Well, hey, I mean,
Glenn and Dan are gonna come to your house and beat you up, man.
Yeah, I know. Glenn's gonna freaking murder me. But I don't know. I remember when Crossy and I were recording with Gatling originally. The guys we were recording with there at Seven Valley, shout out to them. They were really into Tool, and they were kind of recommending Tool to me, and so I was listening to some Tool. And so this was like almost 10 years ago at this point. And yeah, I don't know. I've always felt it was sort of drawn out and kind of, I don't know. I really should go back and now that we're talking about it more, I'm realizing how inadequate some of my memory is of Tool. But I remember listening to Lateralis and thinking, oh man, the bass is great and the drums are really interesting, but it just went on and on and on for me. And I think Maynard has a great voice. But I don't know. It always felt sort of long to me. Like stuff could have been condensed and it would have had just as much impact. Now please rip me apart.
Such a hater. Jeez.
I'm inviting. I'm inviting.
You know what, Alex? I respect that.
Yeah.
And I respect you more of a person because of that opinion. I'm not gonna rip into you.
I mean, like, I kind of like agree with you completely.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Like a lot of the songs, like, yeah, they're long and it's like the same things like going on forever. But like, I'm into it because of that. It's like that drony, like it definitely like puts me to sleep. Not in a bad way, but like because I'm just like focused on the one thing. Repeating.
It's hypnotic,
it's
like,
yeah, exactly. And like, yeah, for me, like I'm not the kind of person that just like put on a song because I want to put on a song. Like I listen to like the full album, so like I'll just put that on and put on like over-ear headphones and just like let the music take me away type thing. But I'm not like, oh yeah, this hit song, like when I listen to them.
You don't like top 40, man? Like I love top 40, like pop music.
I mean, like it's fine. Like Justin Bieber's "Yummy Yummy," like banger right off.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a discography I want to review on the next episode.
Oh yeah, we got to do the Justin Bieber discog.
That'd be great.
We should have you two on as a guest when we could deep dive the Justin Bieber discography.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Let's do it.
Lots of
Actually,
questions.
let's cut this podcast short. Let's go on to that right now.
Just go to the next
All right.
episode.
So the My World EP, what do you guys think of that?
I actually I wanted to ask Collin about August Burns Red. What give me like your favorite song and your favorite album.
Oh God. You can't do that. You can't put me on the spot like that.
It's practice
I don't
for
know.
later. We're going to be asking lots of questions.
It's like their favorite album by far is Found in Faraway Places.
Oh,
Is that what it's
okay.
called? I think
Okay,
that's what it's
okay.
called. I don't know. They just did so much like different things that like other metalcore bands weren't doing. Like one song like halfway breaks into like this like country kind of like vibe to it, and then another one there's like a Russian kind of like dance feel to like
Yeah,
one of their
they
songs.
threw in some
and,
other
like,
stuff in there.
they go wild on that album, but probably Martyr on that album is my favorite song by them.
Okay, nice.
Oh yeah.
That's like I found like I can't talk. Found in Faraway Places. It was kind of like, you know how like on Leveler they did stuff like that, like on what was it, Internal Canon, but then
Oh yeah, they went to like the Spanish like kinda,
yeah.
acoustic kind of thing. Yeah.
I feel like it was sort of like Found in Faraway Places was sort of like a better version of Leveler to me. So that's like that's a good pick.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I feel like they started trying like something new with Leveler, but like Found in Faraway Places just like perfected what they were going for.
Yeah,
So-
had a nicer mix and stuff too.
Yeah. They just knew what they wanted
Yeah,
with that one.
exactly.
My favorite is the Christmas album, Sled and Hill.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, solid banger. Put it on every year Christmas time.
I honestly do, like it's on my my iPod in the car, and when the snow starts falling, I just put that album on, and it's man, it is a nice refreshing break from the generic like mall Christmas music that you hear everywhere else. It's
It
so
is.
good.
It really is.
Oh,
Carol
yeah.
of the Bells. Oh,
That's
like
great.
number
That's
one
great.
to go for.
Man, I got
Carol
that
of the
song.
Bells.
Like back in high school, I downloaded that song as like a meme before I even got into metal. I was like, "Yo, this is funny. It's like Christmas but metal." Whoa, you know.
But that
I
song,
thought-
that song is so ripe for metalification. Oh, I mean, like the minor key and the way it's structured. So like
Kinda
metal
like the
versions,
neoclassical melodies, yeah.
exactly. Like your Trans-Siberian Orchestra did one, right? And also songs like "Oh Holy Night" they did on that album, right? Was great. They did "Sleigh Ride" was hilarious from Sled and Hill. They have those random breaks in it; they're just great.
Didn't they write that song? I think they wrote that Christmas song.
Sleigh Ride? Oh no, so Sleigh
Yeah.
Ride is like a
Yeah, I think it's an original by them.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
probably wrong. I'm most likely wrong.
You
That-
idiot! No, it's not. I mean, it's not.
The episodes always
Fleur-
get fact checked after, so.
yeah. We have a crack team who check all this. But
Nice.
yeah, Flurries was the original. I think Sleigh Ride was already a song, but who cares? And anyway, yeah, that was a great album. And then one other quick point on August Burns Red. There's a moment. Do you guys know the song "The Truth of a Liar"?
Oh,
Off
so
Messengers,
good.
yeah.
Okay, there is a moment on that song that annoys the crap out of me every time I hear this song. And now that after I tell you, you won't be able to unhear this, so I apologize in advance. But it is it's around the 1 minute mark where there's a transition between the intro riff and it goes into the verse or the second riff, whatever you want to call it. But there's like a really obvious cut where like the producer like cut in another take of a riff, and if you listen
please
really
don't do this
close.
to me.
If you listen really closely, you can like hear the split where like there's like a microsecond of silence where it was just like a slightly sloppy job there. So next time you're listening to the song, like look out for that. It's around like a minute and minute 10.
Oh,
into
you're
the
giving
song.
them the timestamp too, jeez.
Yeah. Well, I
Then
remember.
I know it's coming.
I'm just trying to help you
Oh.
out. I mean.
Is it The Truth of a Liar, you said?
Yeah. The first song of Messengers, "The Truth of a Liar."
Oh, that's such a good track, too. Oh,
Brutal podcast.
Oh man.
Ruining
Crush
band.
Your Hopes and Dreams podcast.
Well, hey.
My OCD can't take it.
Oh my god.
I had a couple Hollowcore questions because I feel like the only one I've asked is at the start. I was like, what's like the hardest riff like? But all right,
Solid
so
question though.
it is.
Yeah.
So you guys get the option to get one guest feature. It could be anyone. It doesn't even have to be a musician on your songs. Who is it? And then I want an answer from each of you.
Alex Salas.
Alex Salas.
Damn it.
Yes,
That's what I was
that's great answer to both of you. Hit me up anytime in my inbox.
Except not on drums. He'd be like
Like
just
a
doing
vocal
lead harmony
feature
vocals.
where he
Yeah.
explains why the song is
Oh
bad.
man. Yeah, no, I will gladly review your song on your album like after the track is done.
Like do what you did for Watermelon song, just like talk instead of having a guitar solo.
Yeah,
Behind
exactly.
Yeah,
I will.
I
Yeah,
love
look. If you ever want a vocal solo again, you have my number.
Beautiful. Your turn, Collin.
Yeah.
I don't know. Should I take this serious or just be like a stupid idiot and answer like a joke?
There's no wrong
Are you
answers.
implying? Wait. Are you implying
Yeah,
that
whoa,
Dan's
hey,
answer was not serious with that?
Anything short of serious.
Cut this out, please. I don't know. It might be actually Matt Greiner from
Your drum
August
solo?
Burns Red on drums. Oh yeah, do a drum solo for me.
That would be pretty awesome.
That's a
There
good
isn't
pick.
enough like drum features on songs, like especially metal. Now that I think about it, like it's always like a vocal feature or like a guitar feature. So that's interesting.
Let's get a bass feature.
Yeah.
Let's get
Oh,
Buckethead.
shit.
Bass. Ugh.
Oh man, yeah. Buckethead's a phenomenal bass player, though. Like, there's YouTube videos of him
Yeah.
killing it on
Yeah.
bass.
This man like slaps.
He actually does. Like, yeah.
Uses his thumb like a pick. It's like ridiculous.
Oh yeah. Any stringed instrument. He has a whole banjo record. Spinal
Yeah.
Clock is just an amazing album.
Oh,
It's a
dang.
banjo record?
Yeah. It's which,
Wow.
funnily enough, I have a signed copy of Spinal Clock.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. A lot of it is kind of like ambient stuff, and then the last couple songs are more structured. But it's a really it's an interesting listen for especially for a Buckethead fan to hear him tackle the banjo.
Yeah. And a signed copy. That's gnarly.
Yeah, it was cool. He was doing like a limited run of I don't know, 300 or 400 when it first came out, and I got number 66.
Ooh. So
I was hoping for 69, but you know.
Just
Only waited a
a
second
bit too
later
quick on the
to
buy
order
button.
Yeah, exactly. I should have waited. Oh well. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Do you have any more questions, Krusty, for Holocore?
Questions. Oh yeah. Guitar or bass lesson from a musician of your choosing. Who is it for both of you?
Ooh.
Ooh.
You know what? I'm gonna say Luke Hoskin from Protest.
From Protest, all right.
Because I don't know how that guy plays.
I read that at least for Keziah, I don't know how to pronounce it.
Keziah, yeah.
Keziah, they wrote songs that they actually couldn't play, and then they would learn them after the fact. So it's like just them like kind of playing on the computer, and then they figured it out and recorded it. But fair enough. That's one way of writing.
Well, I watched one of their live shows recently, and there was interviews in between, and he was just like, yeah, I realized as I grew older, I had these bad habits when playing guitar as a kid, and they slowly start to come back when you play these old songs. He's like, I don't even know how I played them when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So.
What about you, Dan?
Does it have to specifically be bass, or because I feel like I'd take a guitar lesson.
If you want a guitar lesson, you can have a guitar lesson.
I think maybe John Petrucci. Man,
Oh,
it's
nice.
ridiculous. That'd be like
the Axeman of Dream Theater.
Yeah, that'd be a wild one to like just sit down and be like, yo, how do your fingers do?
Well, those guys are nuts.
How do?
How does it work?
How be this working?
How guitar?
Man, yeah, he's crazy. Or if I had to pick a bassist, I guess John Mayung from Dream Theater, because he's also ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
Just
Dream Theater.
Oh, so you know somebody else other than Justin Chancellor from Tool?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, we got you to name a couple bass players. That we made progress today.
Geddy Lee is also a person who exists.
Wow. Yeah, Dream Theater are cool. Are you, Collin? Are you also a Dream Theater guy?
I only listened to like their Metropolis Part 2 album.
Oh, okay.
So,
yeah,
That's a good one.
I love that album.
yeah, that's probably their
Paul
best
Core's
album.
greatest single is based off that song.
Oh, really? Which song is that? Is that Santa Time?
Colin.
What? Huh? What? Sorry.
Well,
It cut out.
we have a song that's based on a Dream Theater song, kind of.
Oh yeah, that is Santa Time. That's exactly what it is.
Ah,
What
you got
Dream
it right.
Theater song is it based off?
Is it Coming Home? I
Home.
think that's the song. Home?
Home.
Yeah, just Home.
Ah, fair enough.
The Arabian style part of that.
Yeah, exactly. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dream Theater and John Petrucci's got some crazy solos in there too.
Oh, nuts! And their keyboard player's nuts too. I don't know
Yes.
how he keeps up with the rest of the band, but yeah, he's a wild man on the keys.
Yeah, he's a wizard. He might. He could be the most talented member of that band. Like, it's hard to decide, but
Yeah, I know
They're all
it's
good.
yeah.
Yeah, their drummer too is like ridiculous.
Oh,
Genie now.
fun Mike Portnoy fact. There's a song, I think it's the opener in Black Clouds and Silver Lining. They didn't have a screamer, so like Mike Portnoy just like screams roar like over the breakdown like 6 minutes in.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Beautiful.
That was that Portnoy's last album with them, Black Clouds and Silver Linings? I think it was.
Maybe that's why.
Yeah, he was just getting out his frustration at the band at that point. Because I remember watching the drum those auditions they did, right, with the new drummers.
Yeah.
And did you guys watch those?
Yeah, I've seen that like
I didn't,
5
no.
times.
Oh
It's
man,
cool.
oh yeah, Collin, you got to go watch those after this. They're really good. Do you think they picked the right guy, Dan? Would you have picked Mangini?
100% Mangini's he's like hilarious and like amazing at playing him. I feel like his vibe just like totally fits in with what they're going for now.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think he was the right choice for the band.
He's
Although
the
I have to
best
say,
fit.
Marco Middeman honestly killed, though. I think on a pure drum level, he might be my favorite of those who tried out, him and Thomas Lang. But yeah, I think for the band, Mike Mangini was definitely right.
Yeah, they were all like friggin' crazy, phenomenal players. But
Oh yeah.
yeah, I just like love Mangini. I don't know, everything he does, so
Yeah.
nice.
Except for put his cymbals way too high, which always annoys me every time I watch.
No, you want
Yeah,
to
man, like-
dramatically hit them. That's a perfectly valid reason.
Oh man, it's annoying.
Yeah, man's like nuts. Like it's, I don't know. The ergonomics don't seem like they're like going for him, but he still does it.
Yeah,
about
he must have the
style.
most jacked shoulders.
Not
Yeah,
efficiency.
honestly.
Oh, wow, man. Okay, so I'm anxious to get to this trivia thing. Unless you have any more
Alright.
questions there, Krusty.
Yeah. Well, like, do you guys have any questions for us?
That's a new one.
Oh, are we the interviewers now?
If you want to be, or we can just go to the trivia section.
What was it like playing Warped Tour?
That sucked. It was the worst.
Yeah, that show was terrible.
Yeah,
No,
that
I
one
Actually, I
came-
met Kevin Lyman, biggest dude. No, it was a great time.
Yeah, we're lying.
That was a long ass day. But we got to play. There was a lot of people there, and that's like that was a pretty like incredible moment. I have to say.
Yeah, it was a total
Rest in
bucket
peace,
list.
Warped Tour.
Oh yeah, it'll be coming back though. I said it at the time, and I still hold to it that Warped Tour.
Yeah, there's too much.
Obviously,
money in that.
yeah. I mean, obviously with the Corona, it's not going to be anytime soon. But I would not be surprised if in like 5-10 years, Warped Tour has a resurgence.
Well, I feel like after all this Corona stuff ends, like people will be itching to go see live shows or something
for
like
sure,
that again.
for sure.
So then that's just like a even bigger opportunity for them to bring it back.
It's too much of a cash cow to just end forever.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah. But didn't you say there was something to do with them coming over the border to Canada, and that's why they had to stop it or whatever?
A bunch of the bands, like, they probably have members that have like sort of priors, like illegal dealings and stuff, which prevents them from coming crossing the border, leaving the States, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. The thing was that when we played, right, our stage and several of the stages, but including the ones we were supposed to play, got held up at the border for God knows what reason. But we got there in the morning and we were walking around the grounds, and it was us and the guys from Cold Shoulder and Words Like Wildfire and a bunch of the bands that were playing. And we were all like, "Where is the stage?" And so we found we were in the spot, and so we found the guys, and they were like, "Yeah, the stage is stuck at the border right now." And they were like, "Yeah, so we don't know if you're even gonna get to play." Like there was like several stages, so it was like that was like a really 20 minutes of pure terror. And then luckily it came through, and then it got there and everything was fine. But yeah, from what I was hearing from the employees, that Toronto show was a big headache for the Warped Tour guys.
Yeah, crossing so many people and so much equipment across the border, very complicated.
They should have just like let everybody set up in the middle of the parking lot or the space or wherever.
Yeah, honestly, I think they might have ended up like doubling up some of the stages, like because there's a bunch of bands, like you can't not have 40 different bands play. So I don't know what the workaround would have been, but yeah, luckily we didn't have to deal with that. But yes, Warped Tour was amazing.
How long of a set would you guys get on Warped Tour?
It was half an hour, right? Yeah, it was like 25, 30 minutes. Yeah.
True. Yeah.
Yeah, we went up and then we did our thing. We were actually the first ones up on that stage, and that was actually great because we were playing at a time opposite a lot of the
big band.
Yeah.
That's true. So you're just getting all those people that are just walking around and pretty much waiting for the bands to to play, right?
Exactly. It was us at noon we started, and then so the first 3 or 4 bands, us, Words Like Wildfire, and a couple of the other two, really got lucky. We got the golden time slots there because all the Sum 41s and your Under Oaths went on later. But we had a pretty big crowd, and it was so we just lucked out on that one.
Yeah, I can't compete with Derek Woodley.
Story.
Oh yeah, we saw Austin there.
I just remember seeing Austin's story of him walking through Warped Tour, and he's just like, "Yo, and that's the Kill No Albatross guys." We played with them the next day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that was also funny. We played Warped Tour, and then the very next day we went to Doors Pub and played a show at Doors. There was so that was 2 very different venues.
The Doors show was way better.
Just polar opposites. A hole in the wall and a big old tour.
Exactly, but and I love them both.
Yeah, I agree.
Was the next day also the same day that Plan Dilemma played?
Was Plan Dilemma on that show?
I forget who played the Doors show.
That might have been because I was like, "Yo, how's Warped Tour?" But it also could have been months later.
Oh, true. I was gonna say that's when I met Dan. Pretty much was the next day after that.
Oh, really? Huh.
Yeah.
Then it could have been that one then.
It might have been.
So I remember doing that Doors show with K&A and Plan Dilemma. I just forget when it was.
I'm gonna check this now because I'm going on Facebook.
All right. You check that.
October 24 probably.
Yeah,
either the 18th or the 24th. I'm gonna say.
Okay, so
2018.
Yeah, I'm scrolling down here. Okay, so that Doors show that we did the day after Warped, the bill was K&A, The Good Depression, Built by Thieves, and Silvertone Hills. That was that show.
So that
And then the Plan Dilemma show at Doors was in October, and that was let me scroll up.
24/18.
Yes, October 24th. It was it was built by Thieves, Tall Talks, and Plan Dilemma on that one with K&A. So that was the October 24th.
What a stack of bill.
Good time.
Hey, that was a good bill, yeah. But Built by Thieves and Plan Dilemma on there.
Yeah, bro. And
Do you
Tall
still-
Talks, they're pretty cute.
Yeah, Tall Talks are good. They don't respond to my messages, but I like them.
Put a note like a
Nice call out.
in like a month.
Hey man, I ITA'd their drummer. I can badmouth Tall Talks if I want.
Yeah, we should do a really negative review of their EP on the show.
No, I like them. I just respond to my messages. Darn it! If you guys hear this, I'm mad. Respond to my message.
We played a show. Was it with Tall Talks? I don't know if it was with Tall Talks, but
It was
with
their,
members of them, and they were just
their
like, "What
side
band are we in?"
project. Bayonet. They were called Bayonet.
Oh really?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It was like a side project with like some of the guys, and they're like, "Yo, we like rehearsed once. We have like 2 or 3 songs." Their set was like they took longer to set up, not even take down, longer to set up than their actual set was, and then they took down like they literally played for like 10 minutes.
That's
Not even. I think they played 1 song, 2 songs maybe, and they're like 3 minutes long.
And they like repeated one maybe to get some
Oh
more
my
time.
God.
But
I'll make sure to tag
Yeah.
them in the podcast and.
Oh,
I'll
do it.
write that
Yeah,
down.
it was wild. But like the music was like sweet.
No, they were good, but like we were just like, what is happening? Like, are you guys done?
What's
What is
maybe the set was them setting up. They're like teaching
Yeah,
how
exactly.
bands, like how to set up.
Setup 101.
Yeah, it's called performance art.
Yeah. God.
It's the
And
experience.
you wouldn't get it.
Yeah, God, performance art. What's
Freaking
the
boomers.
what's the worst band you guys have ever seen live? Like that's a good question. Like so, Collin and then Dan. Collin, what's the worst band you've ever
You have to
seen
cut
live?
that laugh off the
Built by Thieves.
Yo, you never saw him live, Colin. Fuck you.
Yeah. You can't name a band you played in. That's a cop out. Come on. What's the worst band you've ever seen live?
Say Rolodex Dart.
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't
Or
know.
Trojan Horse Trial, even if it's a lie.
Oh, because I've never seen him play live.
Yeah.
Yo, I don't know. I don't even feel comfortable like calling out a band if I can think of one.
all
I
right.
can't do that.
I won't push it.
It
But
was Bayonet.
yeah, exactly. It's a Bayonet.
Gee.
Dan, do you want to take a crack at this one, or are you too squeamish?
Honestly, like mine wouldn't be a local band.
That's what I mean. You
I
could say a
think-
big band if you want.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like-
We're not talking about only local bands.
Yeah, exactly.
Like usually with local bands, even if they're not like great, they're usually all just like nice people, and we're like hanging out, and I still dig the music even if it's not like the most technically proficient or something like. But when I saw Mastodon live, who you guys did a podcast on, Callback, Eagles of Death Metal open, and I just like wasn't really into it. It was like super rock and roll, and he's throwing like his sweaty towels at like the fangirls, and it's like, okay, like that's fine for you, but I'm not here for like that.
Probably hasn't showered in
Yeah.
weeks.
Yeah.
That's pretty gross. Did you like? Oh, sorry, Crossy, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just laughing. You go.
Oh, okay. I
Oh,
was gonna
that's me
say.
that said ooh.
Oh, sorry, it's Colin. Couldn't
Yeah.
tell. Yeah.
The band that opened for Tool when I saw them in like November,
Oh, yeah,
they
that
were
too.
they were terrible. I don't even remember
was
their
their deal?
name.
Killing
Oh,
Joke.
Oh, is that what they were called?
Yeah.
I don't know. They're
Why were
it
you
was
bad?
like it was just like the same song like 10 times over, and it was just I didn't know what they were saying. I couldn't maybe it was the sound system, but it was just terrible. They didn't even put on like a good show or anything. Just like their stage presence was terrible. Yeah.
And they opened for Tool. How do you open
Yeah.
for Tool and you suck? That seems like such a hard band to get an opening slot for.
Kind of shocking. Like a band I've never heard of open for Tool. Like, I think
Yeah.
It's a semi-household name.
Like 30 years or something like that. This band has been around.
Yeah, like hanging out with Tool back when like Tool was small, so they just kind of know the guys. I think. Like I'm pretty sure
yeah,
they were part of that scene.
Wow, I will have to look that up. I'm curious what band this was.
Fair enough. When I saw Dance Gavin Dance at Danforth, it was I See Stars that opened for them, and that
wow, that's a name I haven't heard in forever.
Yeah, that kind of it hurt to watch. It was more of like a light show than like a musical performance, to be honest.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And I
their
just
name is Truth.
How out of place it was, because it was like DGD and then Royal Coda, which is like a DGD side project, and then Veil of Maya, and then I See Stars.
Oh, Veil of Maya.
Yeah, otherwise it was a pretty sick bill, but everyone was like pretty bored when I See Stars was playing. It just wasn't the right crowd for it, and I don't mean to rail on them. It's nothing personal. It was just kind of bad.
Why would you put I See Stars on the? And presumably it was a tour, right? So they were playing. They're opening on the tour for Dance Gavin Dance.
Yeah, they were.
Why would you
they were
do
like
that?
third or something. Like.
What? They had the penultimate slot too. Like that's insane.
That's rough.
Yeah, I couldn't show up late or something. Like.
Yeah, and then to have Veil of Maya like come on right after you and just show you up like that.
Oh yeah. Well, Veil of Maya was on second, so they showed them up first, and then they had to play.
Oh, they were on second. I thought you meant like.
Yeah.
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah, that's even worse. God, man.
Yeah, it's like a weird placement for like a transcore band. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's
transcore. Fuck.
You know, like Attack, Crabcore, like that kind
of
stuff.
Crabcore. Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
Beautiful.
Oh my god.
So we I think it's trivia time. All
right, let's
play our game.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna explain the rules quickly. There aren't many, so basically each of you is gonna have 2 minutes to answer as many questions as possible. There is no wrong answers, and lying is not only allowed but it's encouraged. So it's basically it's a rapid fire interview for people that don't want to listen to a podcast for an hour.
Okay. So this is the backup.
Yeah, so if like people don't have time, they can just skip to the end and then they can learn about you guys in like a really
TLDR.
In a really fast format. And then whoever answers more questions between you and Dan and Collin is the winner. And that the only wrong answer is pass.
Okay. Yeah. What do we win?
You win like myself and Alex's eternal respect, and we'll also announce the winner and the loser when we post the podcast.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, we'll tag you guys.
Will be shamed.
Nice.
Yeah, loser with like a whole bunch of asterisks around it, and then like your.
Perfect, and they have to share it on their stories.
Yes, exactly. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, loser has to share it on all their social media.
Ooh.
All right.
I kind of want to lose now.
Fair enough. So I'm going to have Alex do a timer of 2 minutes, and then he's just going to keep score of how many questions each of you answer. And I'm going to flip a coin right now. No, you're going to take turns. But hey, okay. Dan, you want to call the coin flip?
Oh god, I didn't prepare for this. Pass.
There's 2 answers.
Pass.
All right, Collin, do you want to call the coin flip?
Tails.
All right.
Fuck you, Collin.
You are correct. So you get to pick who goes first, yourself or Dan.
Dan.
You want Dan to go first?
I want Dan to go first. Absolutely.
Ooh, okay.
All right.
Pass.
All right.
If you say pass, I will not count it on the sheet.
Yeah, that you only get points. There's no wrong answers, but you have to give an answer to these questions I'm going to ask.
Okay.
All right. So Basically, when Alex says ready, I'm just gonna start firing off questions.
All right.
I'm shaking.
All right, you guys ready? Okay, I'm gonna do a countdown from 3, and then I'll hit start, and then Krusty fire away. All right, ready?
All right.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
What's your favorite Adam Sandler movie?
Click.
What's your favorite band?
Dragon Force.
Who's the biggest douchebag in Hollowcore?
Collin.
All right. Gibson or Fender?
Fender.
What's your social security number?
0000.
Nice. When I say Big Papa, what do you think of?
Big Chungus.
PlayStation or Xbox?
Xbox.
Franks or Tabasco?
Franks.
How many fingers am I holding up?
18.
Netflix or Brazzers?
Probably a bit of both.
Do you like pearl necklaces?
Not on me.
Have you ever stuck cucumbers up your ass?
I have not.
What is 210 times 2?
420. 420. Whoa.
Nice. How long is your penis in inches?
Negative.
Nice. Worst breath in the band?
In the band, probably mine.
Favorite TV show?
The Office.
Favorite item at McDonald's?
McChicken.
What's the worst Beethoven sonata?
Number 3 in E flat.
How much corn have you eaten today?
0.
What's your blood type?
Red.
Best musician in Hollowcore?
Collin, Sheehan.
What is 100 minus 31?
69. Ooh.
Freshest beat you've ever heard?
Oh man, I want to think about this. Buried at the Crossroads, Brad's beat that he does for it.
Favorite video game?
Simpsons Tapped Out, if that counts.
Do you support the Liberal Party of Canada?
I don't know.
Have you ever eaten anything while it's still alive?
Stop. Okay, 2 minutes is up.
All right.
Oh God.
What was that last question?
It was have you ever eaten anything while it was still alive? You can answer if you want. It won't count.
I don't know if I have. I don't think I have.
Okay, all right. Do you want me to? Okay, I will keep the score secret, and then Collin, you go, and then at the end we will reveal the winner.
Oh God. Okay. Are they the same questions? They're not the same questions.
No, they're different.
I'll explain. What we did is Alex and I came up with about like 120 questions, and then I put them into like a randomizer, and then so you each have your own list. So all your questions are going to be completely different.
Wow.
All right.
Most of mine were truthful.
Oh yeah,
Right,
you don't have to be honest, but you can be honest. I appreciated Dan's integrity or genuinity isn't really a word, so
his genuity. I don't know, whatever you want to say. All right, are you guys ready? I'm gonna count down from 3, 2.
I'm ready.
All right.
Let me just get my timer going here. All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
What's your favorite color?
Green.
What's your favorite condiment?
Green.
Would you ever consider using a flute in your band?
Yes.
What's the worst song ever?
Buried at the Crossroads.
Do you like Coldplay?
Absolutely.
What do you usually use paper towel for?
Wiping booty.
Can you burp on command?
Yes.
Least favorite instrument?
Guitar.
What's your dad's name?
Yeah.
Worst place you've ever taken a dump?
At my house.
Are you going commando right now?
Yeah.
Hard shell or soft shell tacos?
Oh, soft shell.
Best guitar riff?
Buried at the Crossroads.
How many times have you tinkled in the last 4 hours?
Oh, like so many.
Have you ever eaten cat food?
I've tried it once or twice, you know.
Who is more attractive, Kim Jong-un or Saddam Hussein?
Kim, absolutely.
Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Favorite Nick Cage movie?
I can't think of anything. I'm being so pass.
What? Okay.
All right, what's your dad's catchphrase? That's a pass.
Get a job.
Have you ever ejaculated on a face and taken a picture of it?
No, but I wish he would do the same to me.
What's the best Hollowcore song?
Sands of Time.
Favorite member of the band?
Dan.
YouTube or RedTube?
Both.
Favorite animal?
At the same time. Dogs.
What is
Again.
70 minus 1?
69.
What's your porn star name?
Austin Dean Kenna.
Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh?
Pokemon.
Have you ever used decongestant nasal spray?
Yes.
Android or iPhone? Oh.
We are done. Wow.
We almost got to my
goodness.
favorite question after Android or iPhone, and that was biggest penis in the band. We were one question away from that.
Size.
Crap. Who? Can we ask that one anyway? Who's the biggest penis in the band?
Yeah,
just,
sure.
Just
for fun.
what's the answer to that one?
Oh, Brad, 100%.
All right.
Oh,
what's
goodness.
the tally here, Alex?
All right. So, okay. First of all,
National treasure.
I wish I could retroactively award you a point, but all right. So there was a difference of 2 points between the winner and the loser. It was very close. It was close. So I will start with Dan. Dan, you got in 2 minutes. You answered 25 questions in 2 minutes.
Ooh.
That's pretty good.
Ooh.
25 is good. I was not expecting that many. Now, Collin, you know that you either got, because it's within 2, you either got 23 or 27.
Quick math.
What do you
23.
think? Do you think
23.
you're thinking you got 23?
I think I got 23.
The Nick
It was
Cage
the, it was
slip.
the pass that killed it.
Well, I can tell you, Collin, that you are wrong. You got 27. Dan is the loser. Collin wins the trivia game.
I'm gonna put
Bro,
some victory music here.
Oh, yes.
Bro, he said his
earned
favorite
all the
condiment
respect of
was
both
green.
Alex's.
There's
And
no
his
wrong
dad's name
answers.
is yes.
Oh my gosh, that was good. I learned a lot about you guys from that game.
Yo, thanks, man. I learned a lot about myself that I didn't know.
Yeah, because you
like
have
your
to
favorite
reach
Nick
into
Cage
your
movie.
subconscious and just you like the first answer is always the most truthful. I think
Green.
Oh my god, yeah, that needs some victory music behind it. So Dan, you have to share this status now when we post it.
yeah.
Yes, I will. Make
And
sure.
and that Collin, you hold the record. We're gonna continue doing this with our next guest. So you hold the record of 27 questions right now.
Wow.
Nice. I feel like that's a solid, good number to with.
That is in 2 minutes. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, 25 is good too. I mean, I thought it was going to come down to a tie when because you had 25 with like 6 seconds left, and I was like, wow, we did not prepare for this. What are we going to do if there's a tie?
Yeah, we had more questions, but I don't know how
Yeah,
many
we could have
more
done
we
like
had.
we could have done like a sudden death round, I guess, or something. But
Yeah, you guys answered them pretty straight. I thought I'd trip one of you up a little bit. I guess I did with the Nick Cage, but
Oh, I could not think of National Treasure for the life of me. That was the only one I had in mind, too.
surprised you didn't go with the Wicker Man,
Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Oh,
or like Gone in 60 Seconds.
Con Air.
They could have gone with Con Air.
Yeah,
Oh
we
my
should
God.
we
Was
should do a
it-
podcast ranking the Nick Cage movies. We'll watch all. of
Oh
them.
my god.
Instead of a discography, is that a discography? A filmography.
Yeah,
Yeah,
do the Nick Cage
Nicolas Cage.
filmography.
Yeah.
I would rather do the Icy Stars discography than
That'd
Nick
be
Cage
shorter,
filmography. Exactly. Wow. Well, anyway, thanks
was
for coming
fun,
on,
yeah.
guys. This was fun. This
Yeah.
was good.
Thank you. It was
you
fun.
guys-
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
No worries.
for having us.
Was
Do you
there
guys
anything
wanna
you guys wanted to plug? I think.
Yeah,
sorry,
I was going to ask
interrupted.
that. Yeah. No worries. Yes, we had the same question. Plugs.
Check out our band Rolodex Darko. We're up and
Oh
coming.
God.
I appreciate the plug. Thanks, man.
Our single "Buried at the Crossroads" is out May 22.
May
Uh,
22.
22. Yeah.
If anyone,
And then the EP will be out sometime eventually, so look out for that.
Once there's no more virus.
Yes.
yeah,
Gosh.
All right,
Well,
nice. So I'll
thank
put
you
some-
again.
the single in the post description and who won the challenge, and then
Oh,
I'll
hell
put some
yeah.
links to your bands. Well, to your band,
Hey.
to Hollowcore.
Thank you.
Cute.
Thank you again for coming on, guys.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna end the recording now. Bye.
All right.
There. All right. So that's recorded.